let's discuss the great boba appropriation of 2024. Okay. And I'm just going to make some points first off before I get myself an education on what cultural appropriation is. Okay. So, first thing, when the guy says, when you get boba tea and you don't know what's in it. Oh, by the way, it's also known as bubble tea, which is what I'm kind of more familiar with, bubble tea. When you get boba tea and you don't know what's in it, and then Simu Liu comes out and says, well, I know what's in it, and he lists the basic ingredients, right? And then if you look at the actual product that these guys have made in the end, this canned version, it's one of those with like weird ingredients. Like with them ingredient codes like E256A, or it's got these weird chemical type names, yeah? It's like, yummy, yes. I love eating and drinking things with E618 in, don't you? I've got a craving for some E613. You know what I mean, guys? So they go on and they say, we know what's in it, and that's a big selling point because you don't know what you're getting from like East Asian things. But here, we're making it, so we know what's in it. And then you go to the ingredients and it's like weird codes and chemicals. That was a bit much. Now, I'm sure we've got the update. If not, here's the update for you. So Manjeet, the lady who invested, she's come out now and she's apologised. Well, I wouldn't even really call it an apology. Like, she's reading it off some kind of script, like obviously reading it, like making it obvious that she's reading, almost making it appear like she's been forced to do it, if you know what I mean. It comes across kind of passive-aggressive. And then she's like, yeah, I'm pulling the investment, blah, blah, blah. It's like, obviously you're going to pull the investment. The company's been tanked from all of this. People are aware of what the brand is, what's going on. Company's gone and done. Of course you're going to pull the investment. You basically had to. If you carried on with it now, you're just putting money into a sinking ship. So, yeah, she's not done herself any favours like throughout this, really. That was not a genuine apology. It was really weird. And it's interesting, like after Simu had raised very sincere concerns how this had been handled, and the lack of discussion, at least on camera, or the lack of conversation, the lack of care for like a fellow dragon. I did find that interesting, but I do have another aspect to it. And anyway, in her apology, she starts correcting names like Cha. She goes, it's not chai tea, it's chai. I'm like, all right, well done. And then she goes, it's not naan bread, it's naan. So like she's trying to like join the crew now. And it's like, no, I think you're still not really getting it, to be honest. And then, yeah, in the actual apology, there's zero apology. It's all very much like a PR, marketing, get me out of this situation, get me out of here thing. That's what that was. Anyway, we'll now go on to discuss a little bit about appropriation and stuff and what it is, and just around this general topic, we'll have a bit of a discussion. So what do you think? What do you want to add on this right now?
So I'll give the definition online because I don't want to butcher the definition. So according to AI, cultural appreciation is when you're learning about a community. Yeah, so you're giving a connection with another culture to help you're sharing and you're broadening your perspectives and connecting with another group of people. Cultural appropriation is when you don't have permission or cultural context. It can be influenced by popular media and can be motivated by personal interest, money, popularity, or a desire to look a certain way. And it can also fuel social inequality, injustice, and racism. So this case, in this case, this Bobba case with Manjeet, is very much appropriation and not appreciation.
And that's because like it's basically fueling racism in a way, would you say? Or why would you say then that it is?
It's a number of things. They came on, and I can appreciate the French Canadians, okay, and they may not have that much exposure. Let's say there are a lot of Chinese and Asians in general in Canada, but
Yeah.
let's just say that they're not exposed to a lot of Chinese or Taiwanese people and businesses where they're at. But they've definitely heard of bubble tea, and they definitely know that it's Chinese. So in their marketing, in their packaging, there's nowhere that says made in Taiwan. It doesn't give any history, or bubble tea comes from Taiwan since 1968 or whatever. I don't know the date. But like they could mention it, and their suppliers are Taiwanese. Do you know what I mean? And if they're not mentioned that, and then they've not really mentioned, maybe they weren't asked, but they themselves in the pitch, not that we saw, they didn't mention that they have a diverse work group. Do you know what I mean? They didn't say, oh, we work with these people and they're very knowledged, they're professional in the industry, they've made boba for, and our suppliers, we have got a really good friendship with them. They could have said anything, that could connect them with,
Yeah.
what I mean,
Like,
Asians.
go on.
You go on, what are you going to say?
Okay, what I was going to say is they could have actually got themselves out of the situation by saying something like, yeah, in fact, we've realised that this is missing in our entire company.
Yeah, exactly.
And our upcoming marketing campaign flips around a big part of our branding, and will bring in a lot more of the East Asian culture, where this has actually come from. That's coming in our next rebrand, if you know what I mean. So they
Yeah.
could have kind of BS their way and saved themselves a bit.
They could have. I think the whole pitch was really poor from beginning to end, or at least how it was edited. The whole thing that was shown to us was really poor. Like, even from was it the beginning? Anyway, at one point they even said, basically implying that it was unhealthy, and he did not know the contents, he didn't know the ingredients. Oh, you never know what the ingredients of these boba teas are. And like, I'm so glad that Simu picked it up, because Simu Liu picked it up straight away and said,
Yeah, he did.
actually, let me stop you there. I do know the ingredients of
Yeah.
bubble tea.
Yeah.
But carry on, but continue.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so glad he picked that up, because like, if you don't know what bubble tea is, let's say like I went to buy my first bubble tea, would I not ask what the ingredients are? And would I still carry on drinking this bubble tea if the ingredients were unknown?
Yeah.
I'd ask. You would ask. You'd go out your way to ask what the ingredients are, and then you'd purchase it, and then you drink it.
Yeah.
Like it or dislike it, that's another question. But so she's basically implying that a lot of people are buying drinks and consuming these drinks, these teas, and not knowing what these ingredients are.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you implying? So, do you know what I mean? All these bubble tea shops, why are they successful? It's very disrespectful.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that that Simu's response was actually amazing. Like, he did say that one of his big reasons for doing what he does is care for like ethnic minorities, and looking at investments and things through the lens of ethnic minorities in a way, and to support that. So as soon as he saw the boba revealed that, okay, this is going to be about boba, and then he's seen who are pitching, and that there's nobody visible from East Asia, I think he was ready that, okay, wait a minute, this needs to be a pitch on point, certain things need to be said for this to go down well. So he was able to react quickly and really quite accurately and get a point across which he really cared about, and he was able to show that.
Yeah.
And I think that's impressive. I myself still feel like I need an education on cultural appropriation. I think I don't fully
I'll
understand.
give you an example. This is like similar to what would happen, right? Let's say, like say for example, in UK we have a lot of chai companies.
Yeah.
And they're very successful, and we've opened a lot in the last 5 years. Let's say a non-Asian couple opened up a chai place, and I mean desi chai, yeah, so like masala chai, karak chai, and they were selling these, let's say karak chai, for example, and they're going to call it chai, but they're going to it's going to be spelled CHY, chai, and it's literally correct chai, so spiced chai, yeah. And let's say that nowhere in their marketing, and none of their staff are Asians, for example, and they don't spend any time like telling the history of chai, for example, on their products either, and they're opening everywhere, and they were really successful, and they're going to market it as healthier. It's healthier than chai.
Right.
It's better than chai, than Indian chai. That would be offensive, wouldn't it?
Okay. Okay.
It's chai, but better.
Okay. But like in
Because
actual
we don't know what the ingredients are.
and then in actual fact, what they've made there is identical to.
Yeah, let's say it's identical.
Yeah, I think there's definitely an issue with that.
Let's say they sell the identical stuff, but then they're also making products that are like a blend of other stuff as well.
Okay.
So like they're making a fusion with other things, and
Yeah.
you know, like adding other products along with it, and still going under the name of chai.
Like cinnamoning it and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe creaming it or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, right. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I can definitely see an issue with the item being identical, right? And then being branded as better, and that's just because we make it. And there being a total lack of attachment to its origin, especially if that, which it will have been in this pitch situation and in business cases, it would have been a thought through decision to remove anything that has come from the place of origin. You know what I mean? Are we going to put anything here to say that this is from East Asia? Are we going to say anything that this, to suggest this is from Taiwan? Or are we going to actively ensure none of that appears? And what's the reasoning behind that? And then how much of that is motivated by, or if you know what I mean, do you know what I mean? Something which is just making the whole issue of, or even worse. What could they have done to have made that a successful pitch?
They could have done basically the whole opposite of what they did. So not saying that the ingredients are unknown and not market it as healthier, especially when they said they're making it healthier, but they're literally making packs of bubba to put in alcohol, for one, which is not a healthy product. Alcoholic bubba tea is not healthy. And
alcohol is one of the worst things you can put into your body.
Literally poison.
Literally.
And secondly, did you see the amount? If you can buy them from Costco, sorry. You can buy them from Costco in America, in the States, and Canada, I believe. But I don't think they're here in the UK. I could be wrong, but I don't think they are. I've not seen them. But if you look at the ingredients on them, it's definitely not healthier. It's loaded with sugar, for one. So the other ingredients, the E numbers or whatnot, I don't have the time to go through them all, but it's clearly not healthy. So there you go. And then just being, even if they somewhere on the packaging had some roots to Taiwan, it would have been better. But it's like they went out their way to not market it as Taiwanese, as a Taiwanese drink product that comes from Taiwan. They never mentioned any staff. The only thing they said was the suppliers are from Taiwan. And I'm pretty sure they only mentioned that when they were asked.
Yes, they did.
They were asked about that.
Yeah,
So diverse workplace, I can't see it. And their whole business is in Canada. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's a Canadian business, and French Canadian ran business, and literally the suppliers are in Taiwan, and that is it. The packaging and what, on the pitch, what was with that? What was it? Some random animal sunglasses on.
Oh yeah, on the can.
Some random raccoon or something, meerkat, something like that.
Yeah.
Some random thing. I would have been a little bit more happy if she put a friggin' panda on it or something.
A panda at least, yeah.
But it's just random AF, honestly. Comical.
Yeah, and they were forced to mention Taiwan. They were looking for things. It was really interesting because he says it's no longer a cultural product, right?
No,
Or no
yeah,
longer
he
a
said
cultural
no.
drink.
Yeah, that was annoying. That was irritating. It's no longer an ethnical product.
Ethnical, cultural, yeah.
It's no longer an ethnical product. What do you mean by that? How is it not?
I can kind of see what he meant in the sense that it's global now. Do you know what I mean? But that means, for me, it could be argued that's because it's popular. It's still an ethnic drink, just like Jar still is. It really is. So, Jar, which is Indian, Pakistani, Asian, South Asian tea, maybe even Arab, but Jar is still like an ethnic cultural drink. It's gaining more popularity in the world, but it still has that essence to it. And so, yeah, although bubble tea is now global, very popular, I suppose it really does still have culture, does still have an ethnic root to
Yeah,
it.
you can't steal a country's product and say it's not an ethnical product anymore. It's a global product. That's like the whole world taking poutine, which is French Canadian food, like their signature dish, and say, oh, it's now not not a Canadian dish anymore. We're gonna put some like spices on it, and we're gonna chop some parsley and some random bits and things on these chips, and we're not gonna call it poutine. It's not ethnical. It's just gonna be called, I don't know, fancy fries or something.
Okay, yeah.
It's just like, no, it's you can like adapt like recipes and drinks and food and things, and that's okay. But like you can't really take a country's like signature, like their infamous Taiwan is like they're known for bubble tea.
Okay, that's
you can't
really their
tax it and say, oh, it's not ethnical. It doesn't belong to you anymore. Sorry, like that doesn't work. Like you can't really take. Do you know what I mean? You can't
Yeah.
take pesto from Italy and say it's a global product now. It's not. It doesn't belong to you, Italy, anymore.
Okay, right. Yeah, I get you. I'm just going to say before I forget. So he was saying that, oh, it's not a cultural or ethnical drink, etc., etc. And then later on, after being pressed and sweating a little bit, he comes back and says, oh, yeah, actually, our suppliers are from Taiwan. So that's our ethnical link. That's our cultural link. It's the fact that they're from Taiwan. Yeah. It's like, well, actually, you are forced to have your supplier from there because that's where it's made the best. If you want a great product, if you want it to sell, if you want it to do well, you're going to have to go to where it's come from. But what's tragic is, even though you yourself as a business owner know that this is where it's best, this is the origin, this is where it came from, there's still been a strong business decision to ensure that there is no benefit given back to Taiwan anywhere on the packaging, anywhere at all. All of that is hidden, and that's a tragedy. And I think that's getting me in the right direction of what cultural appropriation is on one level. Like I'm still, of course, learning about it. Really, what do you think? You know what I mean? Because they were forced, weren't they? In a way, they were forced to say that. And although they're trying to make that the cultural link, they haven't really got a choice. Or have they? Have they got a choice? Could they get it elsewhere?
They probably could get it elsewhere. Could probably get it from China somewhere.
So you reckon that one thing that they would, let's say a company springs up, okay, and they come from some random part of the world, right? And they make bubble tea, yeah? For them to do it correctly, and they've got no diverse staff,
Yeah.
right? They haven't got diverse staff, okay? What I was going to say is that this is a matter of ethics, isn't it? This
Yeah.
is business ethics.
Yeah, it's like morals, isn't it?
It's morals and ethics.
Yeah.
So strictly speaking,
gratitude, yeah.
saying it how it is, there are a lot of companies out there who are not ethical, who do not take moralistic actions, who are actually a bit mental. I mean, what was that thing about Coca-Cola, who are being boycotted in certain countries, and then they did some kind of advertising campaign in Palestine or something, or to make it out like it was in Palestine, when, of course, well, there was something like that, some really weird advertising campaign. But my point being here is that as this is like ethical, moralistic, which business world is not really that sensitive to. And there are a lot of companies out there that are not moralistic, that are not ethical at all in many different ways. Then it's a tricky one. I mean, of course, there's things that companies and people should and shouldn't do. Very wrong of them to do or do not. But of course, there are loads of them who can do it and still will do it and all that lot, isn't there? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was very much, like, just saying it how it is, I was very much under the belief that anyone can go and make anything from anywhere, if you know what I mean. Like, if someone was
You can. I'm not saying you can't. It's just how you go about it. It's like people want to know the story and the background of a business when they are literally paying for something, a service or a product. And like, I'm very much one of those people that, like, when I look at a bubble tea shop, I'll look at the staff, I'll look at the sign, and I'll read the boards in their business, and I'll like, they've got a few franchises. Oh, they originated from Seattle, or what's the story? I'm very much one of those people that read about that, and I don't know. And if their political viewpoint is not the same as mine, I wouldn't be spending my pennies there. You know, I don't go to Starbucks for a reason. Not been for many years. It's that kind of thing. Like, people need to know the history and the background of the business owners, and in 2024, that's the case more than ever.
Yeah, we're definitely in a society where we can be educated about where we spend our money, and we should be educated about it and who we support and not.
And them being on that pitch, them being on, was it Dragon's Den?
Yeah,
or Shark Tank?
Shark Tank, yeah.
Yeah, one of the on that show, it did them like negative more than positive. Like, they'd probably better off not going on that show. I'm pretty sure. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Manjit has pulled out now, and I don't think they're doing well at all.
Yeah, and I feel like
It went too bad for them.
the Sharks really should have thought, you know, like, Simu is going to be one of the experts in this. Like, you know,
Yeah.
he'll know about this, you know what I mean?
And
So,
not only did
listen
they
to him.
not, like, they didn't try to even, like, like, aim it to him,
Yeah.
is a bit dumb,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
You see a Chinese guy here,
Yeah.
investor,
Yeah.
and you didn't even try to change your pitch to, you know, please him.
We want you.
in one. Yeah,
We want you, Simu. We know the mistake we've made. We're here to fix that. You could change us and fix us and put us in the right direction.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? We've
Yeah.
made something here, but we need you to do a big chunk of this.
the answers were just not ready. They were not ready for it. They were not prepared enough. And then the men pulled out of the investment. The ladies were fighting for it. So, and then in the end, Manjit got it. And it was the way that she dismissed Simu, though, like, got on my nerves. Like, it got on everyone's nerves.
Yeah,
I
she
think.
dismissed him quick, yeah.
Yeah, like, not addressing it, and
Yeah.
then, like, trying to. I don't want to. Yeah, she was gaslighting him, and saying, like, you can do it this way as well. It doesn't have to be traditional. Like, you're like making him feel wrong.
Yeah.
She was making him feel wrong about this, when we could all, as an audience, we could all see that he's right.
Yeah.
He's actually right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting because I see her perspective as the business route, that ruthless, you know, unethical business. I want the money. I want that deal quick. I want it now before they get it.
Yeah.
Tunnel vision. Whereas Simu was informed, ethical. You know, he was that side of it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what we saw in that interaction.
She could have made it like she could have turned it around. Her, Manjit, and what are they called? The French Canadian, the couple.
All right.
They could have easily made it like really successful if they pitched it right. She could have come in and said, I want to invest 100%, $1 million, whatever it was. However, I think that we should remarket this. We're going to change the name, and we're going to pay homage to Taiwan. We're going to say this, we're going to say that. And I want to make sure that our staff, that employees are diverse, or like, or even if it's not diverse, like you're gonna put implementations to the business, and we're gonna change it, and we're not gonna have these friggin' raccoons in sunglasses. We're gonna make it a bit more Taiwanese or Asian, so that you know, like Asian people, when we see it, we're not gonna be alienated by it. Because
Yeah.
let's be real, like I don't see a lot of Asians buying that drink.
Yeah. You know what? I think something just clicked when you said that, because so the correct ethical way to do it is cultural appreciation.
Yeah,
And so and to do that, you would invest back to where this came from. Basically, the point is, you wouldn't have this business or this product or this money without the history and where it came from.
yeah, and without their success.
Yeah, you wouldn't have anything here without their success. So it is only right, which is the ethical part in it, it is only right to give back and acknowledge and represent where this has come from, because for you to just benefit, loads of people just benefit, this whole company benefits without giving back to where this came from, when you would have nothing if it wasn't for them, that is wrong. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, I get that.
They're capitalizing on a already very successful product, but they're labeling it as healthier, better than the original.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're kicking those that made these products.
Actually, yeah, kicking them in the teeth. Yeah.
So that's not on.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And especially if or when it's identical or near identical, it's basically the same thing, and you're going out and pretending no, it's better because it's us or whatever, you know. Yeah. Okay. I think I've still got a bit further to go in terms of learning about cultural appropriation. I think there is intricacies in there which I think I myself need to learn about, things which perhaps I've not been exposed to or not kept an eye on really. But yeah, I can see where this is coming from, and where the way this should have gone. And yeah, there should be sensitivity and care taken when it comes to this kind of like situation. Yeah, I get that.
It's like the whole MSG thing, you know?
Yeah.
If you don't know about the MSG, then just have a read about it. It's another story, isn't it? It's for another day.
Okay. Yeah, MSG. Yeah, and East Asia, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a whole interesting thing in itself. Maybe we'll cover that. And if, you know, and so hit subscribe. We might look at that one day. I know it's been covered in other educational, well-informed podcasts and stuff, but no harm in us covering it, giving it an updated take, etc. And yeah, it does tie in with this situation, really. It may well be something which has been almost capitalised on, and it is somewhere subtly messaged in this situation, because that history of MSG is very much in living memory.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. This has been about the boba tea cultural appropriation, and it seems to have all gone in the right direction. The business is not getting the funding anymore, and Manji has apologised, not apologised. Thanks for covering it with me and giving me some information on cultural appropriation and how it works.
You're welcome.
Okay, guys, see you in the next one. Take it easy.